Welcome back to Hurrdat Sports Radio, AM 590, ESPN Omaha, ESPN Tri-Cities, KFOR, and Lincoln. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lula. It's time for Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook and Warhorse Casino, the best place to place your sports bets in Nebraska. Don't forget, all month long, Saturdays in October, there's going to be a $10,000 cash winner every Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. That is cash money. And from 6 to 10 p.m., they'll give away $500 in free slot play every 30 minutes. Get over to warhorsecasino.com for details. DB.
My man, Flaky Jake. Royals Padres World Series. And he's a diehard Bravo, too.
I think I'd rather see Royals Dodgers, not just for your well-being. I just brand-wise.
The Dodgers are going to win today.
Let's go get them.
They're going to win today.
Go get it. Let's go. You putting that bet out there?
I was going to say, can we repeat the 84 World Series? Tigers-Padres?
Fudge.
How awesome would that be?
Not very.
It'd be great. Tigers won.
Not very.
Nah, we don't need to do that.
And I'm a baseball guy. I just don't know if I could. I don't know if I could stomach a series watching the Padres.
I think you'd have a really hard time watching the Padres try and win a world championship. I think you'd struggle with that. I don't think you'd have a good time. Can we talk about the Jets for a second here?
Oh, yeah.
We didn't really get to that yesterday because it happened real time while we were on the show.
Yep.
Listen, I'm going to start here. I don't know that Robert Saleh is a good head football coach, right? The record indicates he hasn't been. I know circumstances have been weird. Here's what I'm betting on, though, is that firing him midseason is not going to fix what ails the New York Jets.
And why would you go with Ulbrich?
100%.
Now, you couldn't go with Hackett, and I assume And I assume you had to keep it in-house, but you know what I would be worried about?
Did you have to keep it in-house?
I mean, who are you going to come in to be an interim? I mean, not everybody has Barry Alvarez sitting upstairs.
You're not gonna call Bill Belichick? See what he's doing?
You think that dude's going back to New York?
Why not?
Yeah, he ain't going.
You don't think he wants to go beat up on the Patriots?
He ain't going back to New York.
Okay. Who else is sitting out right now? Who else isn't coaching?
You just don't see that often.
No, you don't. But if you're looking for a significant upgrade, if you're looking for a change,
you feel that breeze?
I do. I've got a little air going.
I feel like my ankle's ashy.
I feel. Is your name Larry?
Hey.
If you're gonna make a change, I always find it kind of ironic when they're like, "Oh, we need a big shakeup," and it's like, okay, so we're gonna promote a guy that's already working in the building. Like, how big of a shakeup is that really? You know what I mean? And it's not just the Robert Saleh thing, right? Because this is a poverty franchise, right? The way they operate, this is a dysfunctional franchise from top to bottom. Because let's start with Nathaniel Hackett. You know why Nathaniel Hackett's in the room to begin with?
Aaron Rodgers.
Because Aaron Rodgers and Woody Johnson goes, hey, you gotta get rid of the guy. Go get Nathaniel Hackett, right?
Well, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Right. No, but Aaron,
which undermines.
But it's your owner listening to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, which undermines Saleh. But, I mean, Lazard is there. Cobb was like 100%. All those guys are
it's
there.
It's all Aaron Rodgers, right? So if you want to fire somebody, get a big change. Aaron Rodgers is the guy that's been making these changes.
Yeah.
Right? And now he's going to go on Pat McAfee, and he's going to say, oh, I don't make personnel changes. Oh, I don't have any input on coaching staff.
That's today, right?
Yeah, it's in like an hour or a couple hours, I think. But he's going to say all these things. Guess what?
If I'm paying a guy $1 million or almost $1 million to come on there.
I'm not paying that guy.
Well, you hate Aaron Rodgers.
I do hate Aaron Rodgers. I think he's trash. I think he's a trash human being, and he's also a bad quarterback now.
I'm not going to vouch for him anymore, though.
No,
because I do think it was undermined. I just can't.
He's undermined Saleh at every turn.
Yeah.
And then Woody Johnson, because he's invested in this guy, then feels like he has to undermine his head coach.
Well, this is it for Rodgers, though.
You would think. He's got another year left on his deal, I think.
He can't stay in New York if you don't have any success this year.
I mean, he looks terrible. Yeah. You think having Ulbrich instead of Robert Saleh is really going to change that team?
So let me get back to that real quick. And it's no disrespect to Ulbrich because at least I think the players will relate to him, but I think it further fosters the defense versus offense thing.
Yeah.
That I could see that being a thing.
100%, especially because, okay, Rodgers has his guy in Nathaniel Hackett there now, a guy that none of us think is very good, right? I mean, I know we don't think he's a good head coach.
Sean Payton certainly did.
I know we don't think he's a good head coach, right? But do we think he's actually a good offensive coordinator?
I don't know anything without Rodgers.
I don't either. So I'm sitting here, I go, okay, so we got this Nathaniel Hackett guy, and then we got kind of this offense versus defense. You got this Aaron Rodgers stuff versus everybody else. There is no way in my mind that this actually makes the Jets a better football team. Because guess what? Guess what's also hanging out there that Woody Johnson decided to bring up yesterday? And why I also know they're a trash franchise. We forget about the whole Hassan Reddick thing?
Yeah.
Hey, let's trade for a guy that we know wants a new contract and then not give him a new contract. What kind of idiocy is that when you're running a franchise? You trade for a guy.
And he told you what time it was.
It's literally the only reason he was available. Yeah. You think the Eagles are like, hey, we have a happy Hassan Reddick, let's get rid of him.
You know what's funny? He's just taking a year off.
He's just chilling. Apparently like 90 minutes away. He lives in New Jersey. He's just chilling. And this is a dude that you knew when you acquired him needed a new deal. That's why you acquire him, is to give him a new deal.
That's who Coach Rule should have come out.
Hassan Reddick?
With against Indiana.
Yeah, come hang out. Come hang out, Hassan.
It's not that far.
No, it's a quick little flight.
Yeah, 45 minutes maybe, 50.
I wouldn't even worry about it. You know?
Sitting a plane up there.
But that's how I know
he's got time.
That's how I know whether Robert Saleh is a good head football coach or not is immaterial to this discussion. It's a bad franchise. Look how good Sam Darnold is, and look how long it took him to recover from being a Jet. Like, these poverty franchises are so much more toxic than people realize. Like, look at the Panthers are a great example. Like, God help Sam Darnold. He went from maybe the worst franchise in football for the last 40 years.
Now, that's debatable, though. Who is the worst team in the NFL?
Worst team and worst franchise are different things.
Well, the Jets are a bad franchise.
They're a terrible franchise. There are teams that are worse than the Jets right now, but I don't know how
Carolina's had more recent success, though, than the Jets.
100%. But right now, after Dave Tepper has taken over, that's one of the worst franchises in football. After that ownership has taken over, that's one of the worst franchises in football.
Carolina played in a Super Bowl.
They did. Dave Tepper ain't getting them there anytime soon. That is a dumpster.
My man, OBJ DeLone.
That is a
Delhami.
Dumpster fire franchise. And that is as a direct result of ownership. The Jets, at least, it's not entirely Woody Johnson's fault because they've been a dumpster franchise for much longer than he's been around. But that's a terrible, terrible franchise. Robert Saleh isn't the reason they're a bad franchise, right? Aaron Rodgers isn't even the reason they're a bad franchise. Now, the way they're catering to Aaron Rodgers is kind of a microcosm of why they're a bad franchise. But firing Robert Saleh isn't fixing any of your problems if you're the New York Jets. That's what I'm betting on.
I don't see
I don't even think they make the playoffs. Let's put that out there.
And then with
that division is not good.
It's not good. I'm taking the Bills to make the division, and nobody's making a wild card out of that division.
And they don't even look good.
No, they don't. But I trust them more than I trust anybody else in that division.
I mean, and they get to play the division.
Yeah, they get to play against that dumpster fire of a division.
I mean, look, don't look now, but they have the Jets up next.
Yeah, when they got Aaron Rodgers with his peg leg out there trying to run around and do stuff.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen that thing?
Hey, I was just looking at the highlights and I go, that looks like it hurts.
It does. He looks like he's got Alex Smith's leg after the broken leg.
I like Alex Smith.
I do too. I love Alex Smith
on the set. He's actually smart too. I like his breakdowns with the picks.
I think Alex Smith is really smart.
He's kind of the anti-Rex Ryan.
And I also really – you mean he's smart?
He just is always doing so much.
Yeah.
Man.
That's Rex Ryan's thing. He was like that when he was coaching.
Hey, did you hear Max Crosby sound off on –
No, what did Max Crosby say?
McAfee and guys that go on that show just to run their mouth?
Uh-uh.
Oh, yeah. He had a full-fledged, like, you don't know me. You've never talked to me. Don't question what I'm – no, seriously. And I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Don't kid yourself. Max is about that life.
Oh, yeah. He stands on business. I'm not trying to –
Yeah, you keep it pushing.
I'm not trying to mess around with Max Crosby.
That dude has been to the bottom and back. Keep it pushing.
Yeah, I'm not trying to mess around with Max Crosby. He's a scary individual. You know who I will mess around with?
And that dude has fought demons and won.
Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kicking out that leg. He's down. Good to go. I got him.
Yeah, and I forgot our old Florida State. I almost said the wrong thing. Seminole fan, Ryan Peters.
Yeah.
He's got the future on the Padres.
Oh, that's a good future.
So we're
to have
walking
right
back
now.
to the vehicle, and he's like, "Yeah," because it was opening. So somehow I got on. I get home and watch the Dodgers. It's like, yeah. By the way, we got a future on San Diego.
Got him at like plus 1,400.
I'm like, come on, man, you and your fathers.
That's good value. Hey, man, he was betting against his own team in the Diamondbacks in that division too.
Yeah.
Gotta love that value. That's Bet on It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook. Coming up next, we got Stephen Means covering Ohio State.